1 win, 8 draws, 29 losses. 11 points. That is Derby County's record in the 2007-08 Premier League season. How can this even be possible? Let's take a deep dive behind the scenes of this season, filled with embarrassment, drama, and a sex tape scandal. The previous season had been one to celebrate for Derby, as they had celebrated a fluke promotion to the Premier League. After all, Derby had finished 20th in the prior 2005-06 Championship season. Even some of their best players were of a League One standard. Money was being drained out of the club, and the Rams were over £50 million in debt, with the owners all subsequently going to jail over it. Derby fans lived in constant fear over the club going bust. To have this already crumbling team now compete against the giants of the Premier League was a disaster waiting to happen. The task ahead of the new season was clear. A massive summer overhaul was needed to survive in the top flight. Rams manager Billy Davies soon discovered that the £5 million that had served him well in the Championship was mere pocket change in the Premier League. In an attempt to bolster their Premier League credentials, Derby made disappointing signings in Rob Earnshaw and Kenny Miller, both strikers with prior Premier League experience, but not quality players themselves. Derby captain Matt Oakley was highly sceptical, expressing doubts that players would want to join a club they believed would plummet straight back down. Furthermore, the idea of playing in the Premier League for a manager with no league experience is extremely unattractive. Solid right back Tyrone Mears was brought for £1 million from West Ham United, but would leave in the next transfer window after he climbed out of a changing room window, then crawled past the window of the manager's office during a training session to run off to sign on loan for Marseille without permission. 11 players had left Pride Park, with efforts to jump ship early. To put it simply, Derby was relegated before the season even started. While things were ugly behind the club, you must give credit to Derby County fans who are spectacular. They sold out virtually all matches despite the dire results, so they definitely deserve a mention in this video. The fans felt a small sense of excitement when Derby opened their season with a creditable 2-2 draw at home to Portsmouth, but the result proved to be false hope as they then suffered a narrow 1-0 defeat at the hands of Sven-Goran Eriksson's Manchester City. So far, Derby hasn't been doing too bad. Maybe they'll be okay, right? No. Liverpool then blasted them 6-0 at Anfield.
It's 6-0.
The bookies had already begun paying out on the club's relegation after just 5 games into the new season. The blame game had started, with fans rightly accusing the board of neglecting their investment in players. The storm got worse day by day, leading to the departure of Chief Executive Trevor Birch in October 2007, followed by Chairman Gadsby stepping down days later, making way for former Hull City owner Adam Pearson.
I can't believe it!
As the off-field drama unfolded, Derby's on-field performance continued to deteriorate. Another lacklustre display against Aston Villa was followed by a humiliating 5-0 defeat at home against injury-riddled West Ham United.
I just don't believe the goals we're conceding.
After scraping together a mere 6 points from 14 matches, including their solitary win against Newcastle United under the lights, manager Billy Davies publicly expressed his frustration. To compete in this league, you need investment. You have to invest in the playing staff. I haven't spoken to the new chairman in 3 weeks. It would be nice to talk before Christmas. Unsurprisingly, this criticism lost Davies his job. His departure was met with mixed reactions. some seeing it as a consequence of his successes and others attributing it to his public criticism of the board. In a whirlwind of changes, highly rated former Wigan Athletic manager Paul Jewell was appointed within 2 days of Davies' exit. To this day, Jewell describes the move as the worst he has ever made. Then Everton manager David Moyes even pleaded to Jewell to not take the job as they were, quote, the worst team I've ever seen. Jewell was excited by the ambition of Derby's new American owners and was very impressed by the training facilities. Derby County were destined to be a solid Premier League club, but made the move up far too early. Despite improved performances, Derby struggled to secure positive results, often conceding late goals and dropping valuable points. Who was to blame for Derby's mess? Before we look at that, I want to thank you all for 2,000 subscribers. Let's get to 3,000 subscribers before Christmas. Blaming the manager who is sacked, who happened to bring up valid issues, replace him with a good battle manager, only for it to carry on. Something tells me this was not Billy Davies' fault, nor Jewell's. Perhaps new players were needed, so Jewell took decisive action during the January 2008 transfer window, making significant changes to the squad. Notable arrivals included Everton defender Alan Stubbs, Argentine striker Emmanuel Villa. He wasn't good or anything, but he tried really hard, which Derby fans respected. Ex-England international Danny Mills was brought in on loan from Manchester City, and a 34-year-old Robbie Savage. On January 28th, 2008, the club saw a change in ownership as the American group General Sports and Entertainment took over. But the American owners could do nothing to turn Derby's fortunes around. The ship was sinking fast and the squad realised it. Despite these developments, Derby's fate was sealed on March 29th, marking the earliest relegation in Premier League history for a club.
Are we done?
The misery continued with a humiliating 6-0 home defeat against Aston Villa in April of 2008, solidifying Derby's place as the Premier League's lowest ever points earner.
I'm rapidly falling out of love with football. I just wonder what's the point anymore, you know.
Their dismal season concluded with a 4-0 home defeat to Reading. Some fans on the pitch at the end of the season held signs saying, "Thank F, that's over." Then Paul Jewell gave one of the most brutally honest and iconic post-match interviews ever.
Yeah, it's been a horrific time, isn't it, as far as the football club's been concerned. You'd asked them to try and show a bit of dignity on the last day of the season, but same old problems. The team's not good enough. Majority of them are 5 away, won't play for Derby again. That's just not acceptable, and I think supporters have said they're not fit to wear a shirt, and the large majority of them, do you know what, are not. The sooner we can get players who've got a bit of passion, a bit of balls, if you like, the sooner we can move up and start looking to improve the team.
A truly fitting end to a campaign that will be remembered as the worst in Premier League history.
Well, that was f***ing dreadful.
1 like equals 1 condolence for Derby.